Have you ever watched someone work and thought that this shouldn't be so entertaining, but I can't look away? How is it that watching a man move dirt, weld steel, or wrestle with a stubborn piece of machinery can be as addictive as a Netflix series? Well, to know the answer, today we'll be diving into the fascinating life of Andrew Camarata, a man who turned bulldozers, shipping containers, and pure authenticity into a YouTube empire. This might not come off as a surprise for most, but his rise wasn't planned, and it wasn't polished either. It was built on grit, grease, and a love for machines. Before we get to the fame and the millions of subscribers, let's rewind to one of Andrew's most unusual projects. It was in the rolling hills of Saugerties, New York, where a castle began to rise. But instead of stone and mortar, it was stacked together with shipping containers. Giant steel boxes normally seen on cargo ships. To most, it looked like madness, but for Andrew, it was a vision, a fortress built not from tradition, but from creativity, practicality, and a little rebellion against the status quo. This project of his became one of the most talked about builds on YouTube and beyond, even landing attention from outlets like Interesting Engineering. And it perfectly captured what makes Andrew so unique, the fact that he doesn't just work hard, he works differently. So who is the man behind the castle? To understand him, we need to look at where it all began. Born on November 12, 1985, in the quiet town of Saugerties, New York, Andrew grew up in a household that practically smelled of oil and machinery. His father, Andrew Camarata, wasn't your average mechanic. He was a manufacturer, an operator, and most importantly, a teacher. From the moment little Andrew could walk, he was surrounded by bulldozers, engines, and welding sparks. Instead of bedtime stories, his lessons came through watching his dad tinker, repair, and build automobiles. That early exposure definitely left a mark on him. Even though Andrew tried pursuing another path, computer science after high school, the pull of machines in the open air was too strong to ignore. He respected technology, sure, but sitting at a desk couldn't compete with the roar of an engine and the satisfaction of shaping the earth. Eventually, he tossed the textbooks aside and followed the call of the outdoor. By 2009, Andrew was all in. He started his own one-man operation and called it Camarata Property Maintenance. At first, it was small jobs like clearing driveways, leveling land, helping property owners reshape their little corners of the world. But even then, Andrew didn't approach these jobs like chores. To him, every task was an opportunity to create something lasting. That dedication quickly earned him a loyal customer base and a reputation for reliability. Word spread, and Andrew became known not just as the guy with the machines, but the guy who genuinely cared about the work. Fast forward to 2016, and fate stepped in with an unexpected twist. Andrew uploaded a video to YouTube titled as Track Loader Moving Shale. It wasn't glamorous and didn't have any dramatic music, scripted narration, or any flashy editing. It was simple, just Andrew doing what he did best, operating a bulldozer with precision. Strangely enough, that simplicity was exactly what made it stand out. People clicked in, and instead of leaving after a few seconds, they stayed, watched, and subscribed to his channel. Suddenly, Andrew realized the world was fascinated by the very thing he had always taken for granted, his work. And so the channel began to grow slowly but steadily, one upload at a time. At first, it was raw footage of his daily grind, but as time went on, Andrew started showing not just the what, but also the how. Viewers got a behind-the-scenes look at repairing heavy equipment, tackling massive property transformations, and the problem-solving that went into every project. The mix of education and entertainment was refreshing. Fans didn't just watch Andrew, they learned with him, struggled with him, and celebrated with him. It wasn't staged, it was his life. By 2025, Andrew's subscriber count had skyrocketed to nearly 1.46 million, with individual videos racking up millions of views. For many, his uploads became a ritual, something calming, inspiring, even addictive. Watching him maneuver a skid steer or weld a stubborn piece of metal felt strangely satisfying, almost therapeutic. And yet that success never seemed to change Andrew. While many YouTubers chase trends or manufacture drama, he simply kept being himself. As of now, his channel boasts an intense subscriber count of 1.5 million. Now let's talk about another aspect that comes to everyone's mind: money. Because as much as Andrew's fans love his content, they can't help but wonder, how much does he make from all this? Estimates put his net worth anywhere between $500,000 and $1.5 million. His main income comes from YouTube itself, where his channel racks up over 600,000 views every month. That translates into anywhere from $20,000 to $40,000 a month in ad revenue. On top of that, his property maintenance business still brings in around $40,000 annually. And let's not forget merchandise. He sells apparel and even equipment parts through his online shop and eBay store. It's a diversified setup, and it means Andrew doesn't rely solely on YouTube. For him, the business model is about balance, not just chasing dollars. But don't let the numbers fool you into thinking it's all smooth sailing. Andrew has faced plenty of bumps, sometimes literally. Over the years, he's endured several serious injuries. In one memorable moment, he broke his leg running downhill in the dark with an untied shoe. A clumsy accident, sure, but the way Andrew handled it was classic him. Instead of disappearing, he kept filming, documenting his recovery with the same transparency fans loved. His resilience, both physical and mental, became yet another reason people connected with him. Because in Andrew, they saw not just success, but perseverance. Now, what about the part of Andrew's life that fans rarely see? His personal world. This is where things get a little more mysterious. He's never been the type to put his relationships on display. His dogs, Cody and Blue, are regular stars of his channel, but beyond that, details are scarce. There were rumors for years about his relationship with Samantha Weber, known as Sam, who appeared in some early videos. Eventually, Sam confirmed they had been a couple, but that chapter ended. Since then, speculation has swirled about whether Andrew is dating someone new or even raising a child. But without verified information, the truth remains locked away, and honestly, most of his audience seems to respect that choice. Andrew is a man of action, not gossip, and if he wants to keep that part of his life private, so be it. So where does that leave Andrew today? In recent months, his uploads have slowed down, leaving some fans wondering if he's pulling back, but the reality is far less dramatic. Between testing new equipment, like a robotic skid steer, and continuing work on his shipping container castle, Andrew has simply been very busy, and that's the beauty of his story. He's never been about the spectacle. He's about the work. If you strip away the numbers, the views, and even the castle, what you're left with is a man who simply loves what he does. And maybe that's why his story resonates so deeply, because who among us hasn't dreamed of finding that one passion, that one pursuit that makes work feel like joy? Andrew Camarata proves it's possible. He's not an actor, not a polished influencer. He's just a guy who picked up a camera while moving shale and ended up moving millions of hearts along the way. And now it's time for you to answer. If you could turn one love into a lifelong pursuit, what would it be? And while we're at it, what do you think of Andrew's shipping container castle? Is it a genius idea or too far outside the box? Drop your answers in the comments below, because we'd love to hear your take. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. Stay tuned for more stories like this one